Hey everybody, it's Lauren on the support team at Tripleseat. Thanks for joining our 10-minute tips webinar today. It's the first one of the year. I hope you all are having a good new year. I thought I would start off 2019 by just showing you some really easy but really beneficial reports that you can run on last year that might help you plan ahead for 2019 and make the best use of your resources for the new year. So the reports I'm going to show you, you can run them for any time period that you like. I'm just going to go look back at 2018 or at least the last half of 2018, but feel free to use them, any time of year for a shorter window of time or whatever makes sense for you. So at the end of the year, I know a lot of people like to recap last year's business and possibly reach out to some of their top spenders or their top accounts from the last year, especially around the holiday times. This is something to think forward to for next year, but I don't know if you send out a thank you type of letter or gift or some kind of promotional offer to your bigger accounts. But I have a report that's going to quickly show you who your biggest accounts are based on revenue. So here I am in my Tripleseat report dashboard, and I'm going to scroll all the way down to my account report. And I actually have this one saved already for us. You can just go ahead and click custom. I'm going to show you what custom fields we put in, but I'm going to click here on top account by spending. And I'll go back into the customize window so that you can see what I had checked off. So what I did here is I'm including all event owners from my team, but what I'm really looking at is the columns tab here, and I want those contacts, account names, contacts, and I'd like to see the event actual information. That means the event total revenue before tax and gratuity, and then a couple other data points about that account. So that's really what I did there. There wasn't too much customization, but I'm leaving everything blank. That's going to include everything. But really the columns, just some basic account info that I want to see. And then the key to it here is to go to my grouping and sorting tab. And I'm going to sort the whole report by the actual numbers. So I'm sorting by revenue, right? So the account with the revenue. And I want to see in descending order. I want my very top spender at the top of the list, all the way down to the lower revenue accounts. And then I would hit update. So here's what that's going to look like when it comes out. So I've got all my accounts here in the name. I can see some other info like how many contacts I have there and how many events they've booked. But here's the key piece of information is that's what they spent with me in 2018. And I can also see where they're located and who the account owner is on my team. So maybe I want to send out a special thank you, a promotional offer, or maybe even a gift to my top 20 accounts. I just go through here, pick out my top 20, and I can get all the information I need on the account. If you want to see more info on that account than what's right here in the report, you can just click on any of these accounts and it'll bring you into the account with the full info that you have. So again, that's evaluating your top spenders. You can do it by a previous year, or you can do it by just the last couple of months, whatever works for you. The next report that I'm going to show you also has to do with revenue, and this is a way that you can evaluate what you're charging for food and beverage minimums versus what your events are actually spending. And that will give you some insight into if you're on point with your minimums. Maybe they're too low and you want to up them a little bit for the new year, or maybe they're too high and you're finding that you're losing business because people don't feel that they can meet the minimums on certain times. So I've already built this one out as well, and it actually starts as an event details report. So again, same thing, I've got it saved, but I'll show you how I customized it. So food and beverage minimum evaluation. Okay, so here looking at this report, I can really clearly see what day of the week my events took place on and what I told them the F&B minimum was, so what I contracted out for a minimum, and then what they actually spent. So I can see really clearly, maybe on Tuesdays, I'm right on the money. I'm charging $2,500 for my spaces. Now you can include more detail on this, more specific dates and rooms and whatnot, but maybe on some days of the week, you're right on the money. You're charging $2,500 and they're spending half on food and half on beverage. Great. Maybe some other days they're falling really short, and you can see that a lot of events are falling short of that total, and you might want to consider lowering the minimums to capture more business. So the way I built this was I hit event details report, I customize. I have all of 2018 here. I went with definite and closed events for this report. Another version of it is you could do lost events and maybe see where you have some really high minimums and you lost the event, and think about lowering minimums on those days. But for this purpose, I included definite and closed events. And for my columns, it was really important that I had the day of the week in there, what the food and beverage minimum was, what their total actual spend was, and then I also broke that down to the food and the beverage totals. You can include more. You can include other totals, like other sources of revenue, like rental equipment, AV, staffing, anything that contributes to your minimums, however you do business. I just went with food and beverage to keep it really simple. And then I went and grouped it by the month. And the last report that I'm going to show you is really good for just channeling your resources into what marketing you want to use for 2019 and how you can get your message about your events and promote your space in channels that are making sense. So places where you'll find that you are getting a lot of leads from, you might want to put a little bit more energy into those sources. Like, for example, if a lot of your leads come from Facebook, you want to put out lots of Facebook posts about your events and your spaces with pictures and promotions and whatnot. If you see that you have a lead form up for Instagram or Twitter, but it has very little activity, then you might want to stop doing that or take a break from it or consider a different use of those channels for getting leads. So in my reports dashboard, this is a lead details report. So in general, a lead details report is going to give you any information you want about where your leads are coming from and what kind of leads you're getting. So I've gone ahead and customized one of those. And I've sorted it out in a way that's going to show me where all the leads are coming from. So just like always, I go to customize up here. Again, I included all statuses, so pretty much any lead that came in. Conversion status, I have listed as all. You can do leads if you want to get really specific about, what leads, where leads are coming from, and if they're turning into events or not, or falling through. You can say, all right, leads that I converted that are lost, or leads that we turned down, or leads that never ended up getting converted, things like that. But I just did all to capture as much data as I could. Any event status, if the lead was converted into an event, any event status, that's good info for me for this report. I just want to know where it came from. And then my columns, are my just the lead name, email address, some basic stuff, but most importantly, I need to have the source of the lead in there. That's the key piece of information, is the source of the lead. And then I grouped by the source of the lead. So when I updated that, I get a listing of all of the leads that I received for this time period, but it's grouping it under the header of the source, so how they came in. So Tripleseat Web Lead is my, that's my lead form widget that's up on my website. So I can see from this report, that's the primary place I'm getting leads. So I know that I want to direct as much traffic as I can to my website, whether that be in a email marketing blast or anything that I'm putting out there into the online world, like a link from my LinkedIn profile, or maybe that should be the link on my Instagram bio or something. So I'm directing tons of people to my actual website for my restaurant where I have my lead form up, and that seems to be really working well. Got lots of data in here. And if I go quite far down, I can see I do get a few leads from Facebook. and then a couple from Instagram, couple from referral, phone inquiry, email, and you can create custom lead sources in your settings so that you can really drill down into these referral. Maybe you have a couple different types of referral, like you involved in a local business association, or you have a referral program with your existing contacts. So you can create lots of custom lead sources so that this report can get really, really detailed. And again, it's up to you. If you find that there's channels that you think you could do better at, like Facebook, you're thinking that you're getting a little bit of business from them, then maybe ramp it up and see if putting out more posts and pictures and promos can get you more leads from Facebook. And if you have any question at all about creating custom lead sources or integrating with things like Facebook or your constant contact mailing list, don't hesitate to reach out to our support team. We can help you with any of this reporting. If you want help building out these custom reports, we can help you with that too. The great thing about our reports is once you've built something that you like, you can save it. So it's always there on your dashboard. So I created these and they're here for me always. I can run in and jump in and just run them for any time period that I want. And if it's something I want to share with the rest of my team, I can share it. So let me pop back in and show you how to share that. I would just go over here to save. You also always have the option to export these to Excel if you need to. But in order to share it, I can go to save, name it anything I want, and then share it with either a group of people based on their user role or particular people on my team. So I hope you find that helpful, and feel free to reach out to us if you'd like some help creating custom reports or if you have any other questions. So have a great Wednesday, and we'll see you next week.